Shri Bhakta-vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur-Bhakta-vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur-Bhakta-vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur-Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि. So I would like to welcome all our friends who are online. Can you hear me and can you see the screen online? Is it everything okay? If you can see it and hear us, please type yes in your chat box. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, can you hear me and see us? Is everything okay? Hare Krishna. Nobody's responding, so they are not able to hear us. Oh, okay, good. Okay, thank you, Lalit Prabhu. He says that everything is good. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. We welcome everyone for today's Sunday Satsang program. Today we are going to recite some important shlokas from Shrimad Bhagavatam. Before we do that, we'll do little bhajan to glorify Lord. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari. Boliye. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya जय यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरा वनचारी यमुनातीरा वनचारी यमुनातीरा वनचारी यमुनातीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। तो आइए हम श्रीमद् भागवतम का श्रवण करेंगे। Before we begin, we recite Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 3 times together. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. हरे कृष्ण। हम मंगलाचरण प्रेयर करेंगे। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Vishnupadam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitascha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Welcome everyone for today's program. Since last almost 2 or 3 months, we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam every Sunday, and today we are completing we're going to complete second last chapter of first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are one chapter away from completing the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? So today we're going to recite 18th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is Amala Puran. It is incarnation of Lord Krishna himself, and we are indebted to Srila Ved Vyas ji, who compiled this glorious literature, and we are always indebted to Srila Prabhupada, who translated the Srimad Bhagavatam from Sanskrit into English. So before we begin Srimad Bhagavatam, we'll pay respects to Naranarayana Rishi, Shri Vyasdev ji, Mata Saraswati, and glorify Srimad Bhagavatam for first few minutes. So the prayers are on your screen. You can repeat along with me. Narayanam namaskrutyam narachaiva narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatim Uttama Shloke Bhaktira Bhavati Naishtaki. So when we recite and read and hear Srimad Bhagavatam, our bhakti gets established very strongly, firmly. Srimad Bhagavatam was composed by Ved Vyasji after composing all the Vedic literature. As per the guidance of his guru, Sri Narad Muni. Srimad Bhagavatam has 12 cantos, and in all the 12 cantos there is pastime of Lord Krishna and the relation of Lord Krishna with his devotees and some of the pastimes of his devotees. And last time we heard about Pariksit Maharaj's Katha, when Pariksit Maharaj met bull Dharma and cow Dhara or Dharti, and a person who was dressed just like a king was beating the legs of cow and the bull. And there was a conversation between the cow and the bull. Uh, we heard that in detail. While hearing this conversation of cow and the bull, Parikshit Maharaj saw that there were tears in the eyes of the cow. The cow was without calf, and her legs were beaten by the person who was Shudra, who was Kali personified. The cow was very weak, she was distressed, she was looking for a little bit of food, grass. And seeing this, Parikshit Maharaj was not happy because this has never ever happened in the kingdom of Kuru dynasty ever, that anybody beating a cow or a bull. And three legs of the bull were killed, cut. So these are all signs of Kali Yuga. And seeing this, Parikshit Maharaj became very unhappy and he decided that he is going to punish that Shudra who was a murderer in a sort. Right? He was about to kill that cow and the bull. So Parikshit Maharaj, he decided that you deserve to be killed. Who? That Kali personified, the Shudra who was dressed just like a king and he was beating innocent animals in an isolated place. So Parikshit Maharaj decided that he will punish that Kali. And he took his sword to kill that Kali, who was the representation of all the bad things in the Kali Yuga at the current time. So Parikshit Maharaj, even though Kali was dressed like a king, Parikshit Maharaj was very powerful. He was powerful than a Kali himself. So he could punish him. And seeing the strength of the Parikshit Maharaj and his determination to defeat Kali Yuga, why Parikshit Maharaj had that strength? Because he was devotee of Lord. Hmm. Devotee of Lord do not have to worry about the effect of Kali. Devotees can easily defeat Kali Yuga. But that is about pure devotee, not like ourselves, just neophytes, just beginning chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That will not work. You have to be surrendered completely to Krishna. So Parikshit Maharaj, since his birth, if you remember the pastime of Parikshit Maharaj, when he was within the womb of his mother, he was protected by Lord Krishna. So as soon as Parikshit Maharaj decided to kill that Kali, the Kali surrendered to Parikshit Maharaj. And Kali said, please forgive me. I surrender to you and I your citizen. So you have to, as a king, you have to protect me. So you please protect me. So Parikshit Maharaj said, okay, as you have surrendered, I will not kill you. I will spare your life. But you cannot stay in my kingdom. So the Kali personified says that, oh, King Parikshit, Everything is your kingdom. Whole Bharatvarsha belongs to you. Tanve dharma bharat shrestha sthanam nirdesham aharsi. Everything belongs to you. You are the king of entire world. And you are saying that you can't stay in my kingdom. So where should I stay? Right? So give us sthanam nirdesham aharsi. Please give me some particular place where I can stay. Because if you say that I cannot stay here, then I cannot stay alive. Because everything belongs to you. So Kali is saying, please fix me some place for me where can I live permanently under the protection of your government. So Pariksit Maharaj, hearing the plea, Pariksit Maharaj said, okay, you can stay at 4 places. What are those 4 places? So Sut Goswami describes in 17th chapter, 38 shloka, Dhyutam panam striya shona yatra dharmas chaturvida. So Maharaj Parikshit gave the permission for Kali to reside in 4 places where there is a gambling, which is dhyutam, panam, drinking alcohol, striya, prostitution, and shona, animal sacrifice. Hmm? So all these places, animal killing is going on, that place you can stay. So Kali said, but these 4 activities are not happening anywhere in your kingdom. है ना, आपके राज्य में ना तो कोई गैम्बलिंग कर रहा है, ना कोई दारू पी रहा है, ना कोई प्रोस्टिट्यूशन कर रहा है, ना कोई पशु को मार रहा है, तो मैं कहाँ रहूं? कोई और एक जगह दीजिए जहां मैं रह सकूं. So then Parikshit Maharaj said, okay, you can stay where there is gold. Because wherever there is gold, there is a falsehood. Gold यानी too much lust or greed. You know, the currency which you use today in the market, you know, the notes, currency notes, how the currency notes are printed. In the previous ages, the exchange was through the gold coins, right? So if you want to buy something or if you want to give something, then you give one gold coin, I give you something, right? But then they decided that, okay, we will, instead of gold, the equivalent amount of currency we will print. So they started printing currency notes. So on the every currency note, they write that I promise to give $100, 100 rupees worth to this bearer of this note. मैं ये ग्राहक को 100 रुपया अदा करने का वचन करता हूँ, और वहाँ नीचे गवर्नर का साइन रहता है, सिग्नेचर ऑफ गवर्नर. But then what they started doing is that they started printing notes more than the gold reserve of a country. Is that true? That is true actually, right? They just print the notes, right? That is why there is inflation. Why there is inflation? Because they print more notes than they can afford to offer the services. And this is they say gold standard. Have you heard the word gold standard? Gold standard yani the best standard. But the gold standard is not the gold standard, because governments are cheating. They are printing more notes than required, and they are distributing the notes. Like nowadays, Canadian government is giving money, 2,000, 5,000. How are they giving the money? Just print the money and give the notes. But what is the value of those notes, right? Because the inflation goes up and up and up. So what value is $100 today, that $100 will not carry any value after a few years. So basically, Kali was asked to stay where there is a falsehood, where there is a lust, where there is a greed, where there is a cheating. right? So where there is a greed, there is anger. हाँ, जहाँ पे लालच है वहाँ पे क्रोध है. कैसे? अगर आपको कुछ चाहिए और आपको नहीं मिला तो क्या हो जाएगा? क्रोध आएगा ना, है ना? कुछ कुछ लोगों को क्रोध जल्दी आ जाता है, गुस्सा बहुत जल्दी आ जाता है. Some people become angry very quickly. Why? Because their greed is not satisfied. So basically, here he was asked to stay. So in this way, Sutta Goswami is describing the katha of Pariksit Maharaj, pastimes of Pariksit Maharaj to Shaunak Rishi, and all the sages were assembled in Naimisharanya. At that time, all those sages who were hearing this katha very attentively, कैसे सुन रहे थे? ध्यान से. हाँ, वो सो नहीं रहे थे या फिर वो दूसरा कुछ नहीं कर रहे थे. हाँ, कभी कभी लोग कथा करते वक्त, भागवतम कथा करते वक्त लोग दूसरा कुछ करते हैं. जैसे हमारे गुरु महाराज गोपाल कृष्ण महाराज एक बार कथा कर रहे थे और कुछ भक्त चैंटिंग कर रहे थे. तभी तो महाराज ने कहा कि ये भागवतम का अपराध है ना? क्योंकि जैसे ये शौनक ऋषि वगैरह आदि है, वो भी बड़े भक्त हैं, वो भी जप कर सकते थे जब भागवत कथा चल रही है तो, है ना? लेकिन they didn't do that, right? They were hearing Bhagavad Katha very attentively. So attentive hearing is the very important in Srimad Bhagavad Katha. जो भागवत कथा ध्यान से सुनते हैं, those who hear attentively, they get first chance to see Krishna. So Parikshit Maharaj was hearing Bhagavad Katha from Shukadev Goswami. So before Shukadev Goswami could see Krishna, who saw the Krishna first? It was Parikshit Maharaj. तो जो भागवत कथा का श्रवण करते हैं वो भगवान के पास पहले जाते हैं. जो उसको पढ़ते हैं उसको बाद में चांस मिलता है. लेकिन कौन? जो ध्यान से सुनते हैं. Those who hear attentively get this chance to see Krishna first. So all these sages, when they were hearing this katha, they glorified Sutta Goswami. And they said, "Oh Sutta Goswami, you are telling us such a wonderful pastime of Parikshit Maharaj. We were doing yagna, fire sacrifice, and we were burning the ghee and we were making our body black because of this yagna, but we were not able to enjoy so much as much we are enjoying the pastime of Lord Krishna and his devotees." So they said, "Oh Sutta Goswami, may Lord Krishna give you a very, very long life because you are telling us Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam is," here what they say about Srimad Bhagavatam. They say, Shaunak Rishi says to Sutta Goswami, "Yah katha bhagavad kathanu yor karmana guna karmashrah pumbhi samasevyasto bhushpushi." So here Shaunak Rishi is saying, those who are desirous of achieving complete perfection in life, अगर किसी को जीवन का perfection यानी क्या? So to achieve complete perfection of life means to see Krishna face to face in this life. If you want to achieve that, then one must submissively hear all the topics that are connected with the transcendental activities and qualities of Supreme Personality of Godhead who acts wonderfully. So here, Shaunak Rishi is saying that if you really want to see Krishna, then you must submissively यानी क्या? With the humility. Here, Srimad Bhagavad Katha. Further, Shaunak Rishi is saying, you can repeat after me. Tulyama, Tulyama, Lavanepi, Tulyama Lavanepi, Na Swargam, Na Apunarbhavam, Na Swargam, Na Apurnarbhavan, Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya, Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya, Martyanam Kim Uta Ashisha. So here, Shaunak Rishi is saying to Sutta Goswami that we are very lucky to have your company. Why? Because they are saying Tulyama api lavane Tulyama lavanepi. Lavan यानी लवण यानी छोटा सा क्षण, सेकंड का भी छोटा सा भाग. तो वो कह रहे हैं कि आपका जो संग है, सत्संग है, साधु संग है, तो कहते इसकी वैल्यू क्या है? द वैल्यू ऑफ अ मोमेंट्स एसोसिएशन विद द डिवोटी ऑफ लॉर्ड कैनॉट बी कंपेयर्ड विथ द अटेनमेंट ऑफ हेवनली प्लैनेट्स. यहाँ पे कहते हैं कि ना स्वर्गम ना अपुनर्भवाम. The association of a devotee, a pure devotee of a Lord or sadhu sangha is so powerful that you cannot compare it with Swarga ka sukh. If somebody says that I will send you to Swarga Loka, that sukha is insignificant as compared to association with a devotee of Lord. Na apunar bhavam. Or if somebody says that I will give you liberation from the repeated cycle of birth, disease, old age and death and give you mukti, that is also insignificant as compared to the sadhu sangha. Bhagavat sangi sangasya. Bhagavat sangi यानी क्या? One who is the devotee of Lord, Bhagavat sangi. One who is constantly association with Bhagavan is called as Bhagavat sangi. So one who is constantly in association with Bhagavat sangha, they get the benediction. What is the benediction? They will get benediction of getting association with Krishna himself. Right? So that is the, in many other scriptures, in Chaitanya Charitamrita also glorified the importance of sadhu sangha. They said that sadhu sangha, sarva shastra kai, lava matra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoy. Which means that even a moment's association with a sadhu can give us all the perfection, right? So it is very important to associate with sadhu or satasanga. Satasanga, sata means divine. So associating with the divinity is the purpose of our human life. So here, Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that lava matra sadhu sangha. Lava means less than a fraction of a second. If you associate with a pure devotee of Lord, it will give you complete spiritual perfection. So if you really want to progress, then we have to have satsanga, association. Without satsanga or association, there is no chance of progress. You understand? Like there is a medical association. We have a doctors association. Why do we have doctors association? Because then we talk about medicine, right? And then we come to know about various meetings, conferences, that what is the new development. So when you know about it, When you are part of the association, then you get to progress in your particular field. There is engineers association, pharmacists association. There is association of every particular business organization. Similarly, the association of spiritual people is called as satsanga. So it is very important to have sadhu sangha. It is also said in the scriptures. This is a quote from Chaitanya Charitamrita. He said, Krishnadas Kavirdas says here, just as a piece of a wood flowing in the forceful current of a river may be fortune, may by fortune be washed up on the bank. So if there is a river and there is a piece of wood flowing with if there is a by fortune that piece of wood can come and flowing along with the water, it can come to the bank and rest on the bank. Similarly, a jiva may be by extremely good fortune attain the shelter of a sadhu sangha. So we all are flowing in this material world, birth after birth, birth after birth, birth after birth. जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि दुख दोषानु दर्शनम. हम जन्म के बाद मृत्यु, मृत्यु के बाद जन्म. शायद एक आधा जन्म ऐसा हो जाए, बहुत बहुत जन्म के बाद. After many many births, one birth we might come in association with a devotee of Lord. There are many people floating in this ocean, but just by fortune, because of your karmas or by causeless mercy, you get pushed away by that devotee and says, come aside, there is something more I can show you. What is that? I can show you Krishna here. Instead of flowing with that water, I can take you out of the water. Right? So here says, a jeev by extremely good fortune can attain the shelter of a sadhu sangha, and that jiva can get release from the current of material existence and again become established in his own constitutional position as servant of Krishna. Very nice sentence here. Friends, we are wandering aimlessly. You know? Aimless wandering means, aimless wandering? कभी कभी बच्चे लोग मॉल में घूमते हैं, कुछ लेना नहीं देना नहीं, ऐसे ही घूम रहे हैं. ऐसा कुछ खरीदना नहीं, ऐसे ही घूम रहे हैं, टाइम बर्बाद कर रहे हैं. It's called aimless wandering. We are aimlessly wandering in this material world from one birth to another. We get this body, grow a little bit, go to school, produce some children, get old, die. Then again go to the same cycle. But with our extreme fortune, by causeless mercy, causeless means, you know what? Causeless yani ahaituki apratiyata yayatmatu suprasiddhati. Ahaituki, which means that there is no credit of your own, but just by mercy of Krishna and mercy of a devotee, you get association of sadhu sangha. Just by fortunate, by hook or fluke, so I can say. Just accidentally you meet a devotee. That happens with many, Like I met with an accident. One day when I was in Toronto, I had no Krishna consciousness with me. But then one day I was going to work and my wife had got Bhagavad Gita from India. And I said, okay, today when I'm leaving work, I just picked up the Gita. Because it was there, I was going on the bus and I'll read. And that was an accident. And then it's now 20 years I'm with Krishna consciousness. Right? So there are accidents like that happens in many people's life. Right? So it is a causeless mercy of Krishna that he makes this accident happen in your life. Otherwise, I would have been lost in the material world just like any other person, rather than knowing Krishna and thinking about him. Right? So we are fortunate enough that by causeless mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we are taken out of those stream of material world. And we are said, okay, come aside, I have something more here for you. What is that? Krishna consciousness, bhakti is there. Something better than. So here it is said, just by causeless mercy, you get a sadhu sangha. To get a sadhu sangha is mercy of Krishna. It is the mercy of a sadhu. It is further said by Muchukanda Maharaj to Lord Krishna. There is a beautiful story of King Muchukanda, and we will read this when in Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm not going deep in this, but today the topic here in Srimad Bhagavatam we are touching is the sadhu sangha or satsanga. So Srila Muchukanda Maharaj tells to Lord Krishna, my dear Lord, the living being wanders in the cycle of birth and death. When his material condition is about to end, he comes in contact with your devotees. So we are constantly transmigrating from one life to another, and then all of a sudden, by a good fortune, you meet a devotee. Consider that to be your opportunity to get out of the cycle of birth, disease, old age, and death. So here, Muchukanda Maharaj is saying that when the material condition is about to end, that devotee comes in contact with a bhakta. And then they get interested in you, Krishna, who is the sole refuge of devotees. So unless and until we associate with the devotees, we cannot get sadhu sangha. We cannot get Krishna. So satsanga, sadhu sangha is very, very important for our life. As for you to survive in the material world, you need food, right? Can you survive without food? खाना खाए बिना जी सकते हैं? नहीं जी सकते ना. वैसे ही आत्मा cannot survive without Paramatma. You understand? Atma will not be happy if there is no Paramatma. And Paramatma you will get association with bhaktas. If you try to practice bhakti in isolation in your home, you will be miserably failure. In a Kali Yuga, we cannot do bhakti in isolation because there are a lot of distractions. है ना? जैसे यहाँ पे आप बैठे तो आपका फोन खीसे में है. घर पे ऐसा हो सकता है आधा घंटा विदाउट फोन. इज इट पॉसिबल? You stay without touching your phone for half an hour. This is great tapasya you are doing. Yeah? This is a great austerity, isn't it? Staying without touching phone for 1 hour. Is that unusual? Or you do it, except you go to sleep probably. That also people take it under the pillow and go to sleep, right? So there are a lot of distractions in the material world. So association of the devotee is very, very important. So here Muchukanda Maharaj is glorifying Sadhu Sangha. So Shaunak Rishi is saying to Sutta Goswami that, hey Sutta Goswami, we are very fortunate to have your association, your company, your guidance. Please tell us more about pastime of Pariksit Maharaj. How did Pariksit Maharaj got liberated? Got a chance to see lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Please narrate us all the pastimes of Pariksit Maharaj. So at that time, Sutta Goswami explains to Shaunak Rishi and all the sages, he says, first canto, 18th chapter, 7th shloka. Here, Sutta Goswami is describing He is continuing the katha of Pariksit Maharaj where he left. Where was the katha left?
Kali Maharaj was ordered to stay with the gold.
Ah, very nice. You are attentive listener. It was not Kali Maharaj, it is Kali. Kali is not a Maharaj. Kali is a Kshudra. But Parikshit Maharaj asked Kali to stay in 5 places. And the last place awarded was gold. After giving this punishment to Kali, Parikshit Maharaj was ruling the kingdom. And here, Parikshit Maharaj, Sutta Goswami is describing about Parikshit Maharaj. He is saying that Nanu dveshti kalim samrat sarang saranga iva sarabhuka. So here Sutta Goswami is describing Parikshit Maharaj's condition after punishing Kali. Sutta Goswami is saying that Parikshit Maharaj was not worried about, not envious, not afraid of Kali, because Parikshit Maharaj was great devotee of Lord. But at the same time, he had one more quality. And what was that quality? Saranga iva sarabhuka. Sarangam, which means like a bee. So he says he was just like a bee who only accept the essence of a flower. Right? So Parikshit Maharaj, he was trying to take out the best of the Kali. So Parikshit Maharaj knew that this Kali has a lot of bad qualities, but there might be some good quality of Kali. Is that right? So one should try to take best and leave the rest. Chanakya Pandit also says that if you see a gold in the garbage, like say if you go to a garbage bag bin and you find a brick of a gold, 24 कैरेट इतना बड़ा ब्रिक गार्बेज में पड़ा है, क्या करेंगे आप? लेंगे या छोड़ देंगे? पंडित जी क्या करेंगे? लेंगे? ध्यान नहीं है पंडित जी का, ध्यान की तरफ।
गोल्ड का वो
हाँ, का गार्बेज से, गार्बेज में है गोल्ड, तो क्या करेंगे? लेंगे या नहीं लेंगे? लेंगे या नहीं लेंगे पंडित जी? नहीं लेंगे? आप लेना ही पड़ेगा ना, ऐसे कैसे नहीं लेंगे? झूठ कैसे बोलेंगे आप? इतना बड़ा ब्रिक है 24 कैरेट का, आपका लाइफ का कमाई है, आप बोलेंगे नहीं लेंगे? आप बाद में स्नान कर लो, गार्बेज में है तो क्या है ना? गोल्ड भगवान के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं आप। वैसे चाणक्य पंडित ये कहते हैं कि इवन इफ यू फाइंड गोल्ड इन द गार्बेज, टेक इट। व्हाट डज दैट मीन? Everywhere there is a bad things, but there are always good things. Pick up the good things and leave the bad aside. Just like a honeybee will not go in the garbage. It will just go on the flower and pick the honey. Right? There are two types of insects. One is honeybee and one is fly. Both fly. Fly मालूम है ना? Fly always sits on the filthy place, while honeybee will sit on the flowers. So Parikshit Maharaj knew that there are some good qualities of Kali. Actually, Kali has all the bad qualities. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th canto, there are bad qualities of Kali Yuga described. Kali has a lot of bad qualities. In Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, first canto also, in second chapter, it described that Prayena Alpa Ayusha Sabhya Kalo Asmin Yuge Jana Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagyahi Upadrata. What is the quality of Kali? Life is very short. People are, every day life is reduced. So many things in the Kali Yuga are decreasing every day. One of the things which is diminishing every day is truthfulness. Second is cleanliness. Third is mercy. Fourth is duration of life. And fifth is memory. Every day in the Kali Yuga this is reducing. Right? So these are some of the qualities. It's also described in the Kali Yuga, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that in the Kali Yuga, wealth alone will be considered as the sign of man's good birth and proper behavior and fine qualities. Paisa, paisa, paisa. Baki kuch nahi. If you get a birth in a wealthy family, you are very fortunate. If you get birth in a very highly educated poor family, unfortunate. Because everything is counted by money in the Kali Yuga, right? Also, it's mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which was written 5,000 years ago, before Kali Yuga began. In Kali Yuga, law and justice will be applied only on the basis of one's power. So if you are powerful, you will get the justice. If you have money, you will get the justice. Poor people will not get justice. Is that true? This was mentioned 5,000 years ago by Srila Vedvyaji in Srimad Bhagavatam. When we'll read Srimad Bhagavatam 12th canto, we'll learn a lot about Kali Yuga, but I'm today just briefly touching it. But also mentioned in the Kali Yuga, man and woman will live together merely because of what is written? Superficial attraction. That is called as live-in relationship. Is that right? Isn't it? Like when I got married, I never heard of live-in relationship. That was like 25 years ago. But now it is common. That was a foreign word for us. We never heard that. This is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam 5,000 years ago, and also mentioned in Bhagavatam that success in the business will depend on deceit. Is that true? More you cheat, more you are successful. That's the quality of Kali Yuga. You know, the construction business is a lot of cheating. You know, we are building this new temple, and I come across the cheats every day. A contractor will say something on the paper and do something else. He promised me that he will give us the roof warranty for 30 years for a new temple. And when he finished the work, I made a payment. I said, give me a warranty certificate. After 3 months, he delivers me a certificate saying there is only 15 years of warranty. But I said, you promised me 30 years. He said, no, it never happens. Cheat, right? They give you a estimate, quotation, everything, and then they double the price. Cheating, you know. They never keep their words true. It's cheat, right? They'll say, I'll come to work tomorrow, and tomorrow they never show up. My God, I said, what is this? So it's this Kali Yuga is total cheat. People don't keep the words. In the festival, we have a lot of volunteers. Huh? Everybody registers. Nobody shows up. Oh my God, what's happening? Why did you sign up then? Let others to sign up who is going to work. So it's Kali Yuga, you know. Further, Srimad Bhagavatam mentions that man will be known as Brahmana just by his wearing a thread. This is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, nothing from my brain. This, if you wear a dora, 50 ka dora lagaya, bolega मैं Brahman हूँ. All the qualities of a Shudra, drinking alcohol, gambling, cheating, everything there, but they call themselves Brahmanas. And there are so many qualities, bad qualities of Kali Yuga. But Pariksit Maharaj knew the good quality of Kali Yuga. So मैंने तो सब कुछ बुरा बताया कलयुग के बारे में, कुछ अच्छा तो बताया नहीं मैंने. Did I tell you anything good about Kali Yuga? No. But Pariksit Maharaj knew, and Sutta Goswami describes about this good quality of Kali Yuga. What Sutta Goswami is saying? One good quality of Kali Yuga is that Kushalani ashu siddhyanti नेत्राणि कृतानि यत कुशलानी। कुशलानी यानी क्या? ऑस्पिशियस, अच्छी चीज है। सिद्धयंती, सिद्धयंती यानी सक्सेसफुल, अचीव। So Kali Yuga has one good quality. What is the good quality? That just by thinking about good things, you get the result. And na itarani kritani yata. Na itarani. Na means never. Itarani means inauspicious or bad things. But the bad things, unless until you do it, you will not get the result or fruits of it. What does that mean? That in Kali Yuga, if you think good about somebody else or good thoughts come in your mind, you will immediately get good karmas. Just even without me giving you help, if I think that I want to help you, just by thinking I get good karmas in Kali Yuga. In the previous Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Sati Yuga, you had to do it to get the results of good karma. You understand? In the Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga, if you think bad about others, you immediately get bad results. But in Kali Yuga, you think about bad about others, nothing will happen unless or until you do bad for others. So the best quality of Kali Yuga is that if you really want to get good karmas, just think good about others. Just think about it. And then you will get the good results. So Pariksit Maharaj knew perfectly well that in this age of Kali, auspicious things produce good results immediately. So start thinking good, and the good will happen immediately. Whereas the inauspicious acts must be performed. So in the Kali Yuga, if I think bad about you, I will not get any bad karmas. Only I have to do bad about you. Then I will get bad karmas. But if I think good about you, the positive thing immediately get deposited in my account. That is the benefit of. Further, it is Srimad Bhagavatam, one more good quality of Kali Yuga is mentioned, that Kaler dosh nidhe rajan asti hi eko mahan guna kirtanad eva krishnasya mukta sangha param rajet. So this is another good quality of Kali Yuga. In the previous yugas, in the Sati Yuga, you had to do tapasya for millions of years. In Treta Yuga, you had to do fire sacrifice, lots of sacrifices, yagnas. In Dwapar Yuga, people used to do opulent temple worship. But in the Kali Yuga, just by kirtanada eva krishnasya, just by chanting the name of Krishna, you will get all the results which you had to do for millions of years in Sati Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga to get the benefit of that. So chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, what is that mantra? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Kirtanad eva Krishnasya. Just chanting this mantra, you will get benefit equal to performing thousands of sacrifices, doing tapasya for millions of years, or building an opulent temple of $1 billion. All that is equal to chanting the Mahamantra. That is why in Kali Yuga, Devi Devtas also want to take birth in Prithvi. They want to come on Prithvi Loka because Kali Yuga has this benefit that in Kali Yuga, if we chant the holy name of Krishna, we will be able to see Krishna face to face. just by chanting the holy name. That is the power of Kali Yuga. So Kali Yuga has lot of bad qualities, but what is the good quality of Kali Yuga? Kirtana Deva Krishnasya. You can get liberation just by chanting the holy name of Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that if you read Srimad Bhagavatam very carefully and if you hear Srimad Bhagavatam carefully, then Krishna will come at once in your heart and get situated. You can capture Krishna in your heart just by hearing Bhagavad Katha very attentively. Right? So Pariksit Maharaj knew the good qualities of Kali Yuga. He was just like a bee who only accepts the essence of flower, and he was not worried about Kali Yuga. So further, Sutta Goswami tells to Shaunak Rishi and all sages, Ekada dhanuruddhamya vicharan mrugaya vane. So ekada means once upon a time. There is whenever there is a storytelling, when we tell story to our little Risha, once upon a time, there was a king whose name was Pariksit. So ekada dhanuruddhamya vicharan mrugaya vane. One time Maharaj Pariksit went into the forest. And when he went into the forest, he lost his track. And he was on going deeper and deeper. He was not able to find the road coming out of the forest. And it became very late in the evening, and he became very thirsty because he couldn't find any water there. And he became also hungry. So he was looking for water and the food. At that time, he noticed there was a hut there, ashram, kutir. This kutir was of a sage whose name was Shamika Rishi. So Samik Rishi was sitting in the ashram, and Samik Rishi he closed his eyes, and Maharaj Pariksit reached into the ashram in the kutir. And the king had this great privilege. Wherever he went, people used to welcome him with great honor. People used to stand up, offer him all the respects, bow down to king. Maharaj, aiye, baithiye, virajman. But as soon as Pariksit Maharaj entered, he saw this sadhu was sitting with his eyes closed and deeply meditating. So if you come inside and I do not welcome you, I just keep my eyes closed, what will happen? I came to your house and you're not even looking at me. You heard the door opening, you didn't look at me, so you are ignoring me probably. ऐसा हो सकता है मैं आपके घर आऊँ, आप मुझे बोले नहीं, मेरे साथ बात ना करें, बुरा लगेगा ना. Parikshit Maharaj, when sage was in meditation, Parikshit Maharaj entered, and when he was not welcomed, Parikshit Maharaj became a little angry. हमारे वैदिक कल्चर में कोई मेहमान आए तो उनका स्वागत का एक विधि है. There is a method to welcome a guest in your house. What do you do? When a guest comes, you welcome them. You say, Bhale padharya, swagatam, आइए, बैठिए. Then you give them a seat. Then you ask, will you like to drink some water? If you have some food, prasad, you can offer the prasad. So first offer a seat, then offer some water, offer some food, then say few sweet words. How are you? How can I help you? These are the three things important to welcome a guest. What is the first thing? First thing, welcome, give a seat. First thing is sit. Second thing, give some water. If you have some food, give food. If not, then at least water. पानी का तो पूछ सकते हैं. पानी. I think that is a tradition in India. If you go to village also, like I go to Vrindavan, those Vrajavasis, you just stop any Vrajavasi's house, knock the door. Oh, please come. We have a Braja roti. Please eat. They'll give you food. Welcome. They are very poor, very poor. Like they giving you one roti means they don't have one roti left in their house for themselves. But they are very kind. So what is the second thing you do? First thing is place, man. What is second? Food or water. What is the third thing?
Ask them
Ah,
whether they're fine.
kaise ho? Welcome. How are you? How can I serve you? Nowadays we don't welcome guests because of the coronavirus. Please don't come my home. We'll see you virtually. Everything is virtual now. And the life this is Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is going to take a toll on it. You know, this is just a beginning. You know. So total duration of Kali Yuga is 4,32,000, 432,000 years. How many years we have passed? Just 5,000. Long way to go. Corona is just the beginning. It's going to be worse than this because the Kali Yuga is going to worsen. So, it's best to take the benefit of Kali Yuga, which is Kirtanadeva Krishnasya, Mukta Sangha Jayate. Just by chanting the holy name, you can get out of this Kali Yuga. So, when Maharaj Pariksit came inside and he was not received properly, then Pariksit Maharaj became a little angry. And Pariksit Maharaj, it is mentioned in Shrimad Bhagavatam, 18th chapter, first canto, 29th shloka, it is mentioned here, Abhuta Purva Sahasa Kshut Tribhyam Ardita Atmanaha, which means that Abhuta Purva, never ever before, Pariksit Maharaj was angry like this, so easily, Sahasa. And why Pariksit Maharaj became angry?
Because even though he entered the house,
Huh?
the person who was not looking at him, not greeting at him, so he felt a bit kind of.
Was that the main reason? Actually, he was thirsty and hungry. And on the top, he was not looked after. Normal circumstances, he would not have been. But he was thirsty and hungry also because he was wandering whole day. And he had no food. Actually, he came to ashram for food and water. And on the top, he was not received. So, got added reaction to it. So, it is mentioned that Abhuta Purva Sahasa, the circumstances having distressed him with extreme hunger and thirst, the king directed towards the sage his anger and envy, which he had never before directed towards a Brahmana. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 18th, first canto, 18th chapter, 29th shloka. This was not natural for Parikshit Maharaj to become angry. for food and water. Can you imagine a king and a great devotee like Pariksit Maharaj, who भगवान के भक्त थे, भगवान की हमेशा तपस्या करते थे, पूजा करते थे, और he was protected by Krishna within the womb of his mother. He was the grandson of Pandavas. He was son of Abhimanyu, a great heritage. He was well cultured. Do you think such a great king with so much values to his life can be just angry for water and food? Or little respect from a sage? It's not possible. This was Abhutapurva, which means never ever before happened in the life of Parikshit Maharaj. So Srila Prabhupada ji explains in the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam, and other sages also, like Sridhar Swami also, who is commenting on Srimad Bhagavatam, he explains that this was by the divine will of Lord Krishna. यहाँ पे भगवान की इच्छा थी, इसलिए परीक्षित महाराज के साथ ये दुर्घटना घट रही है. क्या हो रहा है? परीक्षित महाराज गुस्से में आ गए, और गुस्से में क्या किया परीक्षित महाराज ने? So Maharaj Parikshit, he thought that he's being insulted. At the same time, he was angry. And what did he do? Here you can see that what is he doing? He picked up a snake which was lifeless, a dead snake, who was lying next to the sadhu. What was the name of sadhu? Shamik Rishi. ध्यान से सुनना है. Shamik Rishi was meditating, and Parikshit Maharaj became angry. He felt insulted, and he picked up a dead snake who was lying next to whom? What is the name? Shaunak Rishi. Shamik Rishi. Samik. Samik or Shamik. So Parikshit Maharaj picked up the dead snake, and what did he do? He put around the neck of the sadhu, snake, Rishi. This was just like a tit for tat, you know. मेरा अपमान तूने किया, मैं भी तेरा अपमान करूंगा.
He was angry.
Huh?
How he was angry?
How he was angry, we're going to talk about it. So this was like a tit for tat reaction. Now in ordinary world, tit for tat is okay for you and me. We are common people. But it doesn't suit to Parikshit Maharaj, a great king of Bharatvarsha. Bharatvarsha is a very big kingdom, not just India. The whole universe is Bharatvarsha. इतने बड़े राजा, इतने बड़े भगवान के भक्त, एक छोटी सी चीज के लिए गुस्सा, और वो भी टिट फॉर टैट. तूने मेरा अपमान किया, मैं भी तेरा अपमान करूंगा. It is unusual actually to see that happen. But this happened because of आपका प्रश्न का जवाब, भगवान की इच्छा थी, भगवान कृष्ण की इच्छा थी यहाँ पे. So when Parikshit Maharaj did this, we'll learn that further, he gets cursed. And when Parikshit Maharaj get cursed, he approaches Sutta Goswami. And Sutta Goswami then recites Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is by pure will of Krishna that Parikshit Maharaj was put into this condition. As Lord Krishna put Arjuna into a confusion, so that Lord Krishna could recite Bhagavad Gita. अगर अर्जुन कंफ्यूज नहीं होते तो भगवत गीता होती. If Arjun would not have been confused, will Bhagavad Gita would be happened? It would not happen. Similarly, if Parikshit Maharaj would not get disturbed, he didn't put a snake, then he would not get a curse. If he didn't get a curse, he would not go to Sutta Goswami. If he didn't go to Sutta Goswami, Srimad Bhagavatam would not have happened. You understand this? So here Pariksit Maharaj, when he put the snake, but after putting the snake, Pariksit Maharaj went back to his kingdom and he started contemplating. Oh my God, what did I do? Tapasya, paschatap. He started contemplating, I didn't do this proper. I should not have done this. Maybe that sadhu was in deep meditation. He was not ignoring me. He was really in deep meditation and I committed an offense. While he was doing that, on this side, there is a son of this great sadhu, Samik Rishi. He heard about this. And the name of that son is Shringi. So this sadhu had a son. Samik Rishi had a son who was very young, about 8-9 years old boy. And this boy was playing with his friends outside. And when he heard that somebody a king put a dead snake around his father's neck, he became very angry. And remotely, at that time, Brahmanas were very powerful. They were real Brahmanas, just by mantras they could curse anybody. So this little boy, he took water in his hand from the river, and he recited the mantra, and he said that 7 days from now, the king who was supposed to protect the kingdom has entered my father's house without the permission and put a dead snake around his neck and humiliated my father. So after 7 days, this king will be burned to ashes by a flying snake. A Takshak Nag will come and he will burn this king to the ashes. So here we can see that Pariksit Maharaj, we'll learn about this in more detail, but this is the curse. On the seventh day from today, a snake bird will bite the most wretched one of that dynasty, Maharaj Pariksit, because having broken the laws of etiquette by insulting my father. So here, Pariksit Maharaj was cursed by a Brahmana. As soon as Shamik Rishi knew about this, that my son has cursed Pariksit Maharaj, who was the great devotee of Lord Vishnu, who is the protector of entire kingdom, he was disappointed. And Shamik Rishi scolded his son. He said, "Oh, my dear son, whatever you have done is not proper." He said, "What a great sinful act was performed by my son. He has awarded heavy punishment for an insignificant offense." So here we can see that Brahmanas became the first victim of Kali Yuga. Deterioration of Kali Yuga started by the curse of a Brahmana. Brahmanas were supposed to guide Kshatriyas. A Brahmana is just like a head, Kshatriya is like the arms. Head guides the arms. Instead of head chops off the arm, what happens? It's not good. So this is what happened, that a Brahmana led to the full swing inflow of Kali Yuga. So Pariksit Maharaj, then we will learn more about what happened next to Pariksit Maharaj when we meet next time. Okay, so here finishes the 18th chapter of first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Rantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Anybody has any questions? किसी का कोई प्रश्न? नहीं? क्या सीखा आज आपने? One message for you. Maybe our friends online, they can type one single line. What was the take-home message for them today? What is your take-home message?
The best quality of Kali Yuga.
What is that?
That is like by chanting the name of Krishna.
Very nice. Wonderful take-home message. Kirtana Deva Krishnasya. Very nice. What is your take-home message?
The same thing, becoming no need
No,
to
tell me something new. Don't copy paste. I'll give you some time to think. How about you?
Good quality of Kali Yuga is that don't if you do bad for others,
Very
bad will
nice.
come back to you.
Very nice. Very nice.
If you think good thing will.
Okay, so I'll just correct that thing. Good quality of Kali Yuga is just by thinking bad, you will not get the bad karmas. You have to do literally bad to get bad karmas. But the good karmas will happen just by thinking good. That's the another point. What did you learn? You don't remember? You just came. Rishika Ben?
Main તો એ જ કે બે જે કલયુગની qualities good
Mm-hmm.
qualities.
Mm-hmm.
Second જે હતું તે like when guests come to the home.
Very nice. Very nice. When a guest comes to home, how do you receive the guest? That's very nice. Huh? Atiti Devo Bhava. Anita just typing. Yes, how to receive the guest. Very nice. Anything else? Did you learn? What did you learn?
Because like you don't need to follow the same process here, tit for tat.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you don't come specific
Very
process,
good.
so yeah.
Lalit ji is saying in Kali Yuga, good thoughts gives us good results always. Very nice. One more thing we learned about sadhu sangha or satsanga, right? Satsang ki mahima. Did we learn about satsang today? In the Kali Yuga, if only and only you associate with devotees, you can get out of the cycle. Satsanga, without satsanga, there is no. Parulji saying, whatever happens with the will of the God, sometimes we go against our nature, or sometimes must happen. Yes. So, for the devotees in their life, whatever happens is the desire of Krishna. Thank you, Parulji. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lalitji. With that, we end here, and for next 4 or 5 minutes, we'll just ask some questions to all of you. You can say A, B, C, D. Okay. Those who are online can type in your chat box. There is no chance for personality of Kali to enter if A. There is chanting of the holy name of the Lord are happening, worshipping of the Supreme Lord is taking place, hearing the Lord's pastimes are taking place, all of the above. कलयुग का प्रभाव कभी नहीं होगा जब कौन सा है chanting the holy name, worshipping Krishna, hearing Lord's pastime, all of the above. All of the above. Okay. Vishal Prabhu is saying D, Parul ji is saying D, Lalit Prabhu is saying A, Anita ji is saying D, Vishal Prabhu is saying D. Absolutely. So D is the correct answer. A is not wrong, but D is the most correct answer. So wherever in the Kali Yuga, if there is a chanting of the holy name, worshiping of Krishna, hearing of the Lord's pastime, Kali will not enter in your house because Kali has bad qualities, but it will not happen if you have this. Next one. Maharaj Pariksit was not envious or afraid of age of Kali because in his age of Kali, A. Auspicious things produce. Please. Auspicious things produce good results immediately. Inauspicious things must be actually performed to render effect. Chanting of the Lord's holy name produces immense auspiciousness, all of the above. हरे कृष्ण बैठिए बैठिए आप आराम से बैठिए चेयर पे है वहां पे बैठिए. So what are the things here? Parikshit Maharaj knew what are the best qualities of Kali Yuga. Auspicious things produce good effects immediately, yes or no?
Yes.
Inauspicious things must be performed to render effect. Yes or no? Yes. Chanting of the Lord's holy name produces immense auspiciousness. Yes or no? So, what is the correct answer? D. All of the above is the correct answer. Thank you, Ajit ji. Thank you, Nolin. Thank you, Lalit ji. Thank you. Then the next question is, reception law enjoins that a poor man who has nothing to offer to his guest should be good enough to offer a straw mat for sitting, a glass of water for drinking, some sweet words, all of the above. Huh? What is that? All of the above is the correct answer. Yes, thank you, Ajit ji. Thank you, Lalit ji. Thank you, Anita ji. Thank you, Vishal Prabhu. So when a guest comes, give a seat, offer some water, some sweet words. Right? Next one. The hungry king Pariksit entered the hut of fill in the blank where the yogi was in the trance. Who? What is the name of the rishi? Samik Rishi, Shringi, Angira, and Shuka. Will not forget, right? Next week I'm going to ask you this again. If you forget, then there will be punishment. Is that right?
Yeah.
Understand? Okay, what was the name of the son? Shringi. Very nice, very nice. Thank you, Vishal Prabhu. Thank you, Lalitji, William, Nolin. Very nice. Shamik Rishi. Next question, second last question for today. King became insulted for not getting proper reception. He cursed the sage, he woke up the sage in anger, put a dead snake around his neck, sent him out of the kingdom. What did he do? He put a dead snake around his neck, right? Let's see our friends who are answering. Ajiji is saying C, William, Parulji, everybody saying C. That is the correct answer. Thank you. And Shringi cursed king to become a snake, to die immediately, to be bitten by a snake bird, to die on the seventh day from then, or to become powerless. See? See? Okay, here everybody C, and online also our friends are answering C. Thank you, Ajiji, Nolin, Lalit Prabhu, Anita ji. Thank you so much. And the last question before we start the Aarti. Rishi, on hearing his son's curse, congratulated him, was absolutely regretful, and started mourning, was completely satisfied, cursed the king even more. What is B? What absolutely regretful. That is the quality of a devotee. A devotee is not happy when somebody is suffering. Okay. Para dukhe, sukhi or dukhi? Sukhi. पर दुखे दुखी, हम पर दुखे सुखी. आपको तकलीफ हो रही है, बहुत मजा आ रहा है ना? दैट इज द कलयुग. सामने वाला बिजनेस, उसका बिजनेस बंद हो गया, बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. मेरा बिजनेस न चले उसका बंद होना चाहिए. That is the quality of Kali Yuga. But Shamik Rishi was not like that. When he heard bad about Maharaj Pariksit, he felt really bad. He said, this should not have happened ever. That is the quality of a bhakta. So anyway, thank you everybody for participating. Now we'll do the Aarti ceremony. So please join us for the Aarti. Hare Krishna. So those who are online, if you have any questions, please type in your chat box. So I'll answer after the Aarti is over. Please stay back for the Aarti. We'll have nice Kirtan and Krishna's darshan also. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Parulji. Thank you. I'd like to thank all the devotees who are online today. And thank you to all who are being part of the Sunday program. Thank you, Ajit ji, Anita ji, Lalit Prabhu, Vishal Prabhu, Nolin, William, all the devotees who are online. Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Boliye Deepak Prabhu. Deepak आपका नाम?
Gagan.
गगन. वेलकम. नमस्कार. तो आप लोग सब प्रसाद दीजिए. थैंक यू अजीत प्रभु, अनीता जी, नोलिन, पारुल जी, thank you. Thank you, William. And sorry, there was no sound while the Aarti was going on. But thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We'll see you again next week, everybody. आइए सब लोग प्रसाद लीजिए. रौनक इमने नीचे ले जा. They are coming for the first time. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Anita ji. Thank you, William. Hare Krishna. Sorry, the sound got switched off during the Aarti. We didn't realize it that there was no sound. But I hope you got a darshan. Thank you, Anita ji. सबको देना है कैलेंडर. सबको देना है. दे दीजिए. श्री गौर निताय की जय. श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की राधा विजय. Thank you, Nolin ji. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hare Krishna.